Hello. Today, I'd like to talk about the Guardian newspaper, and it has editorial comments about India and the Guardian view of India, like this, like that, and they have a recent article, the Guardian view on Boris Johnson's trip to India. If you read the Guardian, you would get the impression that Boris Johnson did something very wrong, did something very bad uh, in India. Whereas the truth is that he won a signal victory for this country. He did very well. He short circuited an obvious problem with the trade deal that he wants, and which is beneficial to us. I don't know whether it's beneficial to India. It may be, but I do know that the opposition to this deal, that it was spearheaded really in Gujarat by the Mantan, by the milk cooperative, which has tremendous, for more than 40 years, 50 years, it is extremely important. So he goes to Gujarat and well, there is a slightly comic aspect to Boris Johnson, was quite a quite large man, a Billy Bunter type man, Billy Bunter at the Gandhi ashram. But it is cute. He is a sort of dishevelled, but he's a babyish, and he has that. He's cute. And it draws the sting. It draws the sting out of the aspects of that trade deal, which are really discriminatory. It's basically saying European milk is better than Indian milk, which is like saying England's moon is more beautiful than the moon of Bengal. It's silly, but these are definite issues. There are other, but I think the real victory for Boris Johnson was by posing with the bulldozers, because bulldozers are very popular in India. Indians want the criminals and the terrorists and so on just bulldoze their property. They'll wait for the thing to wind through the courts over 20 years, 30 years, 40 years. Just there must be an immediate penalty. Because within any neighborhood, it gives innocent people, good people, the excuse to say, we won't go along with this. We won't go along with this because we only exist within this neighborhood because we have a house. House is not there, you know, say, it's a sensible thing. Now, the Guardian has been against Narendra Modi, really going back to 2002, even though um, you had a dynastic and very corrupt government, a government led really by Sonia Gandhi, who's Italian, who's white, who's Catholic. So this was, the Prime Minister was a Sikh. Sikhs are a minority in India. And under that government, the Americans were persuaded to use some law that they had to sanction Modi. Nobody else. There is not one single other person that this law has been used against. And the Guardian quotes this. They say, the fact that Modi alone was the only person sanctioned by this law in 2005 when Sonia Gandhi, a Catholic, an Italian when she gained power, uh, and the fact is that 84% of the Indian population is Hindu, very closely aligned to Hindus, and the proselytizers of the Catholics, the militant jihadis among the Muslims, they are hated. But so are the racists as represented by the Guardian newspaper, the people who wish to impose uh, their own their own power, their own decisions, their own judgments on blind people, people of other cultures. That is the Guardian view. To have a view about India, to have a view about South Asia without being South Asian is to be a racist. I have no view. I have no view about what women should do. I'm not a woman. However, well, I mean, I have the moustache. This moustache was my mother's. And but you know, I'm not a woman, and it is egregiously illiberal, it is egregiously racist of the Manchester Guardian to say in this article, and I invite you to read it, to say that Britain should boycott India, that we shouldn't be allowed to get COVID vaccinations from India. Boris Johnson said, I'm grateful that I got the Indian vaccination. And we know that Boris Johnson came close to death. But in the view of the Guardian, carried away by its own racism, its own stupidity, its own bigotry, oh, for them, let us stay away from these brown folk. They quote Angela Merkel, who was wrong. Angela Merkel, who bloody fed the Putinesque beast, the beast which is seeking to devour the dragon, which is breathing fire over Ukraine. Merkel, for them, Merkel, they quote her. Why? Because she said, oh, we make a mistake by trusting the Indians. There's all blackies. Merkel from East Germany. Heil Hitler. And then Heil Stasi, you know. So this is the Guardian newspaper. It is a racist concern. It is anti-British. Britain does need to keep good relations with countries which don't want to kill us. They're not sending terrorists to fucking knife us in the street. They want to share their vaccines and so on, and invest money and why the fuck is the Guardian newspaper so fucking racist? And the answer is it's in its genes. If you look at the Manchester Guardian back in the 1920s, back in the 1930s, it was one of the few newspapers, British newspapers, to maintain an Indian correspondent. I mean, a correspondent in India, I should say. But, this supposedly liberal paper always favoured a racist, white people are good, brown people are bad, or that type of view. It's a fundamentally racist enterprise. But it is racist for two reasons. It is stupid and it is ignorant. It just wants to do stupidity better than anybody else in ignorance better than anybody else. But this is a definition of bigotry. It is a bigotry pays. If you go on writing the same bigoted shite, you get money from the bigots. That's what The Guardian does. The only reason I read it is because it's free to read. I wouldn't fucking spend a penny shitting on it. Otherwise, not would you, unless you got an erotic charge from doing so. I'm sorry, I have to put in some sex. It's part of my rebugging. Okay, thank you.